everyone, this is Anna from Savat Realty. Savat Realty is a relocation and investment agency for expats looking to relocate to Portugal. Today, I will be talking about the city of Vila Real, which is interior north of Portugal. For those of you who don't know, we have relocation services both for rental and for buyers, and we work very much from a lifestyle perspective, which means that we will try and match your personal particular lifestyle needs to the best locations in Portugal and also help integrate you in the best way possible and make sure that you end up in the right place for you with the least problems possible and handle all of the process in the middle. So today I am here to talk to you about Vila Real. Do keep in mind I am not in Vila Real right now. Where I am right now is a Gueira. It's a dam in the center of Portugal. And you have here, I am doing currently the EN2 road, which is one of the longest roads in Portugal. It was built on the 1900s. And it goes from top to bottom of Portugal, starting in Chaves, ending in Faro. I am currently on the 7th day of this journey, so I still have 7 more days to go. I am doing live updates on Instagram, so feel free to follow that. At the time this video gets posted, I may be already finishing this, so we will see. And Vila Real is the second big city on the National 2 road, and it is near Douro, or in the Douro region, but it's not next to the Douro River. So it is between 2 rivers, and it was originally built on a hill. It's one of those very old cities of Portugal, and it was a busy city in the Middle Ages, so it was built this way for defensive purposes, as it has 2 rivers and it's kind of on a hill. If you wanted to attack it, you would have to go down the valley and up the valley, so it wouldn't be very practical. However, as times went by, that stopped being a concern, and the town pretty much developed closer to the river and outside. And the old town got kind of abandoned in the way because it no longer made sense to have the town there. So Vila Real is a fairly large city here in Portugal, and it already has all the amenities that you will need. It does have a shopping mall. It has an industrial area with all of the big facilities. And it is still very affordable. It is slightly more expensive than Chaves, but not by a lot. So it would still make it probably to the top 5 of the cheapest cities in Portugal. I don't think it's on my video because it's really close to Chaves, and it's not, well, it's bigger, but it's within the same region, so to say. And it is a very interesting city from the perspective of a mix of modern and old. You have a lot of historical buildings throughout the city, and a mix of historical and newer buildings. And then as you go to the other areas and the city expands outwards, you will see a lot of modern apartment buildings and complexes and villas. So it is a very growing city in that way. When it comes to pricing in Vila Real, you can expect to be on between 1,000 and 2,000, 2,500 per square meter, depending on new or old, renovated, not renovated, and so on and so forth. You do have a lot of apartment options, but there are also amazing villas and more countryside properties on the outskirts of town, some of them with absolutely amazing views. Most of them tend to have somewhat of a farming plot. So if that's something you are looking at, it may be the right location for you too. And there are a fair amount of construction happening. and there are still pretty much offer around, so it definitely can be an interesting location to look. It also has parks and greenery, so it is a very pleasant city. We also went to the park, and they have a park in the middle of Vila Real that is kind of hidden in a way, because Vila Real is between valleys, and there's a valley that goes literally in between the town, and at the bottom of the valley, there's a park that extends along the river in a long distance. I mean, we only walked a small part of it. And in one of the main avenues, that is actually the one that N2 corresponds to, there is one of the entrances. I mean, there's more entrances to the park. It's the one we entered by. And it's really easy to miss because it's next to a big modern building, and it's really surprising where you go there, and there's this huge park downstairs with everything really. You even had the gym, the outside gym, there's the river with some small waterfalls and coffee shops. There were people sunbathing, and then there's the park has access to the other side of the river. And you can go also to the science center. If you go forward, there's some windmills and then some produce, hortas biológicas. So there's a bunch of things. And then you also had the trails on the cemetery side. And I do believe they were connected to the park too, but we didn't do the whole trails. So there is a lot of greenery and places to just be in nature in Vila Real, which is a very pleasant thing to have in a city where you live. It also has a private hospital and a public hospital, so it has all the amenities and services you might need. And you have beautiful locations with river views. You have two rivers there. It does have a highway to get to Vila Real. I don't know. I think it's about also 1 hour, 10, 20 minutes to get from Vila Real to Porto. So it's not too far to get to Porto either. And it is in one of the most scenic regions of Portugal, which is Douro. So very close to Vila Real, you have Régua and Lamego and the other Douro side locations throughout the river. And this is, of course, very known for the port wine and the vineyards that you will see along the river. And it's probably the most beautiful riverside location in Portugal. And it is also very popular, not Vila Real. Vila Real is very much under the radar still and not very known. But the Lamego and Régua and Douro area in general are extremely popular when it comes to tourism, and you have a lot of high-end resorts in this area. So you really do have a nice selection of things. It is not a main city like Porto and Braga, and from an international perspective, it's a small city. I mean, even Porto may be considered a small city from an international big city's perspective. But it does have everything, and it's very affordable. And the other thing is that it is very much a typical North city. So people can be rude, but they are also, when they like you, when they want you around, they are extremely helpful and extremely welcoming. And it is still a very religious area. So most of the cities in the north, and especially the interior, we usually joke, and it's honestly probably true, saying that they have a church in every block. They really do. There are so many churches in these towns. It's incredible. And most of them are gorgeous. So they really tell you the wealth of the clergy at the time and how much of the discoveries funds went to the clergy, because a big part of these monuments were built with funds from Brazil and the discovery era from Portugal. So you can see the monuments here. And of course, you have a lot of winery farms and quintas. And one of the very known ones is the Mateus farm that we did go to. And it's a gorgeous old farm with beautiful gardens and a vineyard. Do keep in mind this is not related to the Mateus wine that is very internationally known. It's a different Mateus Quinta. And it very much showcases what a noble property I think that one would be a noble, because we do have the distinction between señorial and noble. So señorial tends to be more of bourgeois, and noble is the noble one. I do think that one fits into the noble category, and it is very, very well maintained. We didn't visit the inside of the property, but the gardens are gorgeous. It is a bit expensive to visit, honestly. It was 12 euros and a half per person to enter. And we also ate amazingly and very cheaply in Vila Real. So you have a lot of big, once again, north. So big doses of food. One dose is usually enough for two people. If you get a starter and a dessert, then definitely two people ask for one dose and you will be fine, really. So it's definitely one of those places. It also has some museums. We went to the archaeology and the monastic museum. Once again, these are very old towns and do have the remains from Roman and Celtic times. So you do have archaeological remains in these museums. And there was another museum about the traditions there that we didn't go to because it is by booking only. But overall, it can be an extremely interesting city to live in, that it's very much under the radar in Portugal. So I think you should definitely give that a look if you are looking for something in a more scenic location, but still affordable. And this city is, once again, not one of the big cities, but it does have almost everything there. And it's not too far from Porto, so it can be a great choice for a good quality-price relationship when it comes to living. So do take a look at that area. And if you think that can be the right place for you, feel free to reach out to us. We do work with both buyers and rentals, and we always make sure that our clients end in the right place. We also work with renovations and constructions by doing project management, and we take our clients around to the locations they are interested in to make sure they feel right for them, because if it's for living, then you definitely want to make sure you feel like you belong. If it's for investment, we also work with investment, and these kinds of cities can be great investment opportunities because they are still very affordable and definitely will be rising in price as they grow, as the bigger cities get less and less affordable. These kind of outskirts cities become more and more popular. So these kinds of cities are definitely an investment opportunity, in both from a living and an investment perspective. They can be very good choices. So if you think that was helpful, feel free to leave your feedback here. Have you been to Vila Real? If you think this is the right place for you, feel free to contact us at contact.savat.realty, or just check our websites where we are very transparent about the way that our service works, and www.savat.realty.com. And I hope this was helpful. You can also subscribe to our YouTube, where we have weekly updates about interesting locations, cultures, traditions, and a lot of things useful for living in Portugal. And we also have our blog, where you have a lot of useful free information that you can check. So I hope I see you around, and next week I will be here again. Bye.